is now closed. Warm-up is now closed. Please clear the pool. Please clear the pool. Thank you. Please welcome to poolside your referees and their team of technical officials.
Good morning, welcome along then for day 2 of the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. Thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday morning. We have a session of heats for you this morning, and that is our schedule. We begin with men's 200 metres freestyle. We will have women's multi-classification 200 metres freestyle, men's 100 metres breaststroke, women's 200 metres butterfly, men's multi-classification 400 metres freestyle, women's 50 metres breaststroke, men's multi-classification 100 metres breaststroke, women's multi-classification 50 metres breaststroke, and we complete the sprints in the heats this morning with the men's 50 metres backstroke. The multi-classification events will serve as part of the qualification and selection process for the World Para Swimming Championships. Men's 200 metres freestyle, 12 heats of this will be our first event of the day. 8 swimmers. Lanes 0 and 9 will be empty. Jason Lee of City of Birmingham in 1, Yasin Hattab of Dumfries in 2, Jack Militis from Tigers in Jersey in 3, Benji Sutcliffe of Ramsbottom in 4, Mihailo Vukovic from Ealing in 5, Xavier Zurban from Biggleswade in 6, James Aspinall, City of Sheffield in 7, and in lane 8, Julian Ockroy for Delton Dolphins. 6 of our swimmers in this heat are aged 14. We have 2 13-year-olds. Jason Lee at the bottom of our picture in lane 1 is 13, and Mihailo Vukovic in lane 5. 4 swimmers from the top, also a 13-year-old. But all of these swimmers are competing, of course, in the 13-14 year age category. 4 lengths of the pool then, and starting strongly at the top of our picture, Julian Ocroy for Deltin Dolphins, turning in 27.7. Followed over there by Xavier Zurban in lane 6. So those two leading as we get halfway down this second length of the pool, and we're coming up to the halfway turn. And Xavier Zurban looking strong as well in 6. As we get to the halfway point, it is Zurban who will turn first. 58.9 at the halfway point, followed by Ocroy. Benji Sutcliffe in 3rd place. James Aspinall was 4th at the turn. Jason Lee 5th. Mihailo Vukovic 6th at the turn. Jack Militis 7th. And Hassan Yatab in 8th at the halfway point. 3 swimmers now pulling clear. Ocroy, Zurban and Sutcliffe. And it's Zurban who will come into the final turn in 1st place. Didn't really get a good push off the wall there, Xavier Zurban, and that has allowed Mihailo Vukovic to come back. Benji Sutcliffe to come back with a really good turn. So it's Sutcliffe in 4, closest to us of these 3. Xavier Zurban in 6th, and Julian Ocroy at the top of the picture, fighting to reach the wall first here. And a good time could put any of these swimmers in position for a place in the final. It's going to be very close at the end. It's Ocroy first, then Sutcliffe second, and Xavier Zurban third. 2:03.10 PBs for all of those first swimmers there. Ocroy knocking almost 4 seconds off his previous PB. And those performances will put those first 3 swimmers, all those swimmers under 2:04, in contention for places in the final for 13 and 14-year-olds. On to Heat 2. Our swimmers in this heat from the top of the picture. Harry Willis of Newcastle in lane 9. Then it's Jackson Crabb for City of Leicester in 8. Archie Maguire in 7 for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Henry Barker in 6 for Romsey and Totten. Delana Satavicius for Mount Kelly in 5. In lane 4, it's Alex Holmes for Glenrothes. In 3, Peter Fensom for Croydon Amphibians. In 2, Ethan Knights for Team Ipswich. In lane 1, Joshua Hutchinson for Woking. And in lane 0, Thomas Rickles for City of Liverpool. First at the turn there in lane 4 was Alex Holmes for Glenrothes, with Thomas Rickles at the bottom of the picture in 2nd position. 8 of these swimmers are in the 13 to 14-year-old category. The 2 swimmers in the yellow or golden lanes in the middle are in the 15-year-old category. And coming in to turn first, it looks like Alex Holmes in lane 4. 58.17 at the turn. Thomas Rickles in 2nd there in 58.27. And Rickles got a really good turn there at the bottom of the picture. You've got to keep an eye on him. This looks like a really good swim for him. The fastest time so far then in the 13-14 year category is 2:03. So we're looking for swimmers to get under that time in the 13 and 14-year-olds to get through to the final. Rickles with a great third 50 there, 1:29.45. I think we can be pretty confident that Thomas Rickles will be getting into the final with this performance. And in lane 5, Delana Satavicius, a 15-year-old swimming well. Look at the top of the picture as well. Harry Willis, another 13, 14-year-old swimmer Looks like he'll be coming in third here. 2:03 the time to beat for the 13, 14-year-olds so far. Thomas Rickles comfortably inside that. Second there for Dilana Satavicius. 2:01.26. And Harry Willis at the top there, 2:02.38. That will put Harry Willis into the final. And I would have thought everybody under 2:04 in the 13, 14 years category there will also make it through. That's Jackson Crabb, Henry Barker and Archie Maguire. Good swims for all of those swimmers. On to heat 3. Our swimmers here then from the top of the picture. Alexander Brown in lane 9 for Northumberland and Durham. In 8, Austin McPherson for Garrioch. In 7, Conor McCullum for City of Leeds. In 6, George Bailey for Exeter City. In 5, Remy Mowbray for Amersham. In 4, Aidan Anderson for University of Aberdeen Performance. In 3, Leon Ginter for Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 2, Lucas Christie, Kingston upon Hull. Lane 1, Eden Saint for Derby Excel. And in lane 0, Damien Fratchett-Criggier for City of Southampton. And it was Fratchett-Criggier who turned first there ahead of Remy Mowbray. Fratchett-Criggier at the bottom of our picture. And every swimmer in this heat is in the 15-year-old category. Fratchett-Criggier coming in to turn first with Remy Mowbray going over second there. We're on course for getting a couple of swimmers under 2 minutes in this heat. None of the swimmers in this heat has a PB under 2 minutes. So that would be a really significant barrier for any one of these swimmers to get under. Fratchett-Criggier looking very strong on the near side. And Remy Mowbray going well too. Fratchett-Criggier just overtaken into the turn there by Mowbray. We could get 3 or 4 under 2 minutes here, the way they're swimming. So this is really good swimming for everybody who is on course for sub 2 minutes. Remy Mowbray looking strong and coming through well here as well. Conor McCullum, City of Leeds, finishing very strong, 3 lanes from the top. Is he going to catch Remy Mowbray, or is Mowbray going to hold on? Here we go. Who gets under 2 minutes here? Remy Mowbray and Conor McCullum both get under that barrier. Lucas Christie just outside in 2 minutes, 0.54. We got a few swimmers under 2:01 there. So 2 swimmers under 2 minutes for the first time there. PBs for everybody under 2 minutes, of course, there. On to heat 4. Our swimmers in heat 4. In lane 9 at the top of the picture, Nebi Sengula for Highland Swim Team. Then in 8 it's Martin Vermaat for Camden Swiss Cottage. In 7, Tarek Blook for Worcester. In 6, Dylan Madican for City of Liverpool. In 5, Toby Hodgson for Leatherhead. In 4, Lev Fahy for Chelsea and Westminster. In 3, Owen Twigger, City of Swansea. Lane 2, Edward Evans for Beckenham. Lane 1, Maximus Major for City of Newport. And in lane 0, Hayden Sanders for Bromley. Maximus Major first at the turn, 27.09, just ahead of Lev Fahy. We have one 14-year-old swimmer in this heat. That's Hayden Sanders at the bottom of our picture in the white cap. And we have 6 swimmers in the 15-year-old category. Once again, everybody here trying to get under 2 minutes. That would be a really good achievement. 7 swimmers under 58 seconds at the turn. And looking good in lane 5 right now, Toby Hodgson out in front. Great turn from Toby. Tarek Bluk in lane 7, 3 from the top, also going well. And Dylan Madigan as well in lane 6. And look at lane 2 as well, Edward Evans, as we come to the turn. It's Hodgson, then Bluk, Madigan and Evans. 5 of these swimmers have been under 2 minutes in the past. Nobody has gone quicker than 1:59.5. We're going to get a faster time than that though from Toby Hodgson. This is a really good swim coming in to the last 5 metres. What time for Toby Hodgson? 1:56.92. That's a PB. Brilliant. Dylan Madigan 1:59.56. Tarek Bluk 1:59.76. Edward Evans also getting under 2 minutes. 4 swimmers there under 2 minutes. Great swimming there. Hayden Sanders, 5th place, 14 years of age, and swimming 2:00.33. PB by 0.3 of a second for Hayden there. On to heat 5. Our swimmers here, Ashby Edmonds for Mount Kelly in lane 9. Then in lane 8, Lucas Iwianya for Guildford City. In 7, Caden Frampton for Millfield. In 6, Oscar Hunter for Norwich Swan. In 5, Samuel Hall for Guildford City. 4, Dominic Workman for City of Liverpool. Lane 3, Colton Dorfeld for Millfield. Lane 2, James Biddick for Oakhampton Otters. Lane 1, Finley Bruce for Perth City. And in lane 0, Charles Phipps for Millfield. First to turn, Samuel Hall in 26.63. Closely followed at that turn by Oscar Hunter. Charles Phipps at the bottom of our picture, in fact just slipping out of the picture, is a 14-year-old swimmer. And most of the swimmers in this heat are in the 16-year category. Lane 5, Samuel Hall will be first at the halfway turn. 56.68. Second at the turn there was Oscar Hunter, then James Biddick, and Charles Phipps was 4th at that turn. Samuel Hall then leading as we approach the final turn. Samuel's PB is 1:58.97 for this event. And he'll be followed into the turn here by Caden Frampton and Charles Phipps. Now Frampton's PB 1:59.26 and Charles Phipps 1:59.48. So anybody getting under 1:59 here is going very well indeed. And look who's coming through here, James Biddick as well in lane 2, one of the 15-year-old swimmers. And at the top of the picture, Lucas Iwianya finishing strongly. Into the last 5 then. Samuel Hall just touched out by Caden Frampton, 1:56.58. Charles Phipps, 1:57.29. PBs for all of the first 3 there. In fact, James Biddick in 4th place, also going under 1:59 for the first time. Lucas Iwianya, that's a PB as well. And Colton Dorfeld. Good swims all round. On to heat 6. Our swimmers in heat 6, Joshua Drury in lane 9. Thomas Marshall for Exeter City in lane 8. I should have said that Joshua Drury swims for City of Birmingham. In lane 7, Henry Shepherd for Bromley. Lane 6 is the empty lane. Then in lane 5, Joseph Parsons for City of Cardiff. Lane 4, Luke Moore for Leatherhead. Lane 3, Henry Norman for Bromley. Lane 2, Leo Talbot for Bolton Metro. Lane 1, Thomas Swale, City of Sheffield. And Lane 0, Jose Rodriguez for Millfield. And it's Rodriguez who turns first there, 26.91 ahead of Shepherd, Henry Shepherd, and Thomas Marshall. Now we have the two fastest 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. That's Henry Shepherd in lane 7, 3 from the top of the picture. And Leo Talbot, 3 from the bottom of our picture in lane 2. First to turn here at halfway is Jose Rodriguez in 55.67. Almost a second ahead of Joseph Parsons at that turn. So Rodriguez looking very strong here. Rodriguez's PB is 156.86. He looks like he could be pushing for that here. 125.35 at the turn. Followed over there by Thomas Swales and then Joseph Parsons. In the battle between the 15-year-olds, Leo Talbot was 6th there and Henry Shepherd was 8th at the turn. They'll both be qualifying for their final. But look at this swim here for Jose Rodriguez, and he's encouraging Thomas Swales really to go with him. These two swimmers doing really well. PB, remember here, for Rodriguez is 156, so that's a PB. Thomas Swales likewise with a lifetime best there. More than 2 seconds faster than he has swum before. Luke Moore with a 156. That's a PB by over a second. The two 15-year-olds there finishing 4th and 5th, Henry Shepherd and Leo Talbot. They will qualify for the final for the 15-year-olds. We'll see them both later on for the final session. On we go to heat number 7. Our swimmers here from the top of the picture, Thomas Chittock for Waltham Forest Gators, Daniel Belty for Hatfield, Eden Rowe for Northampton, Michael Banks for Bromley, Rufus Parry for Wickham District, Wilfred Lee for Millfield, Alexei Denisov for Plymouth College Aquatics, Lachlan Small for Stirling, Benjamin Dale Wood for Thirsk White Horse, and Matthew Defanes for Tigers of Jersey. Alexei Denisov turning first, 26.08. Followed by Wilfred Lee and then Benjamin Dale Wood. We have two 16-year-old swimmers in this heat in lanes 2 and 4. So 3 from the bottom of our picture and 5 from the bottom of our picture. And both of those swimmers in with a chance of qualifying for their 16-year-old final. Denisov will turn first at halfway, 54.92, followed by Wilfred Lee. And Alexei Denisov is going away from everyone here. I think he's getting a little bit quicker. Eden Rowe going well, 3 lanes from the top. Looks like Rowe will turn in 3rd place here. Denisov, has he got enough left for this final 50? Turning there in 125.8. He's got a PB of 156.05, Alexei Denisov, in this event. And Wilfred Lee is finishing strongly. And also coming through, Lachlan Small here, 3 lanes from the bottom. Remember, 3 lanes from the bottom and 5 lanes from the bottom. 2 16-year-olds trying to get in the 16-year final. It's a very good, strong finish here from Eden Rowe as well in lane 7, but it's Lachlan Small who touches first there, 156.68, then Eden Rowe 156.77, and Michael Banks in 156.85. You can see there, Lachlan Small, 16-year-old, he'll get into the final comfortably with that swim. So too, fourth place finisher there, Wilfred Lee. So those two will race each other again this evening. 7 swimmers under 2 minutes in that heat. On we go to heat number 8. From the top of our picture, our swimmers are Lucas Malkev for Hackney Anaconda, Daniel Payton for Northumberland and Durham, Aquiles Bello Ormeño for Guildford City, How She for City of Sheffield, Jack Brown for Plymouth Leander, Ben Uff for Crawley, Jack Bignall for Northampton, Finley Richardson for Guildford City, Ralph Seraki for Mount Kelly, and James Page for Millfield. Jack Brown first at the turn, 25.58 ahead of Ben Uff and Aquiles Bello Ormeño. Lucas Malkev was fourth at that turn. We've got 3 16-year-old swimmers in this heat. Finley Richardson, 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture. How She in lane 6 and Daniel Payton in lane 8. Ben Uff turning first there, under 28.5 for that second 50. Jack Brown second at the turn, and then Bello Ormeño. And Ben Uff looking strong. So it's Uff coming into the final turn first, ahead of Bello Ormeño. 124.4 at the turn for Uff, 124.8 for Bello Ormeño, followed there by Jack Brown and then Finley Richardson. EB's 156 for almost everybody in this heat. We're going to get underneath that for at least 3 of these swimmers, I think. It's going to be Aquiles Bello Ormeño to touch first in 154.76. Then Finley Richardson 155.16. Ben Uff 155.8. Jack Brown 156.01. That's a PB by 0.2 of a second for Jack Brown. Jack Bignall was fifth there, 156.41. That's also a PB by 5/100ths of a second. And How She there, 156.73. On to heat 9. In heat 9, our swimmers are Ethan Stubbs Green for Millfield, Kurosh Kodaka for City of Leeds, Kenzie McLean for Perth City, Ryan Hardy for Mount Kelly, Jack Bamborough for City of Cardiff, Alex Andrews for Repton Swimming, Tom Belt for Mount Kelly, Jensen Norris for Perth City, Hugh Mason Williams for City of Birmingham, and Aidan Turner for Newcastle. Strong start on the near side. Lanes 1, 2 and 0, the first 3 at the turn there. That's Hugh Mason Williams in 1, Jensen Norris in 2, and Aidan Turner in lane 0. We have one 16-year-old in this heat, that is Aidan Turner, closest to us at the bottom of the picture. And pretty much everyone else in this heat is fighting for a place in the finals for their respective age groups. Hugh Mason Williams in 55.05 at the halfway point, followed by Kenzie McLean in 55.36 there. Aidan Turner was third at that turn. Kenzie McLean 3 lanes from the top, looking like he will be first to the 150-metre turn. Maybe Hugh Mason Williams will get there first. He does. 124.95. Only 4/100ths of a second between those two. Then Ryan Hardy and Jack Bamborough third and fourth respectively at the turn. Swimmers in this heat have never swum under 155, so that's the target for everyone here. I would think the first 6 swimmers will qualify for their respective finals the way they're going. Who can get under 1 minute 55 here? Can we get all 6 of them underneath it? Not quite. It's Mason Williams first, 154.53. Then Kenzie McLean, 154.71. Tom Belt, 154.75. Jack Bamborough, 154.77. PBs for all of those swimmers. Ryan Hardy there was 5th. And Ryan Hardy's time, 155.42, just outside his previous best. Those first 4 swimmers there should all reasonably expect to be in the 17-year-old final. We'll confirm that later. We go on now to heat number 10. Our swimmers in heat 10, Harry Chandler for Worcester, Monty Smith for Wickham District, Maxwell Adams also for Wickham District, Josh Williams for Swansea University, Gabriel Shepherd for City of Leeds. In lane 4, it's Frederick Ashley Sparks for Wickham District. Lane 3, George Smith, University of Stirling, Jake Chesworth for Maxwell, Oliver Gillett for Swansea University, and James Boddy for Garriott. George Smith was first to turn there, 25.96, followed by Harry Chandler. And our swimmers in this heat, we've got one 16-year-old, that's Monty Smith, 2 lanes from the top of the picture. We also have 2 17-year-olds, Harry Chandler at the top of the picture, and Gabriel Shepherd in lane 5. First at that turn then was George Smith, followed by Frederick Ashley Sparks, then Josh Williams and Maxwell Adams. There are only 2 heats to come after this. We have swimmers in this heat who have swum under 1 minute 50 in the past. Into the final turn then, it's George Smith ahead of Frederick Ashley Sparks and then Josh Williams, and Maxwell Adams was 4th at that turn. Those 4 all under 1 minute 24. And Ashley Sparks finishing strongly here in lane 4. Looks like he will win the heat. He's got a previous best time of 1:48.76. He's not going to be quite as quick as that, but it's a great time nevertheless. 1:49.38. Then George Smith in 1:50.27. That's a PB. Josh Williams, 1:51.17. Right on top of his previous best. Maxwell Adams finishing 4th there, 1:52.08. The 2 17-year-olds there in 8th and 10th places respectively, Gabriel Shepherd and Harry Chandler. And they should be in the 17-year-olds final with their times there of 1:53.75 and 1:55.07. On to heat 11, only one more to come after this. Pretty much every swimmer in this heat will be fighting for a place in the final for their age group. That's Ethan Kelly at the top of the picture for City of Liverpool, Zach Slater for Edinburgh University, Rowan Rowbottom Keating for Loughborough University, Ruben Rowbottom Keating for Loughborough University. Then it's Llewellyn Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage, Hayden Annan for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Charlie Hutchison for Loughborough University, Jordan Cooley for City of Leeds, Luke Hornsey for Edinburgh University, lane 1 empty, and in lane 0, Lucas Gallant-Tracy for Teddington. Jordan Cooley is out in front then for City of Leeds, followed by Charlie Hutchison for Loughborough University. With 100 metres to go, it's Cooley, then Hutchison, Ruben Rowbottom Keating in 3rd, and Luke Hornsey in 4th place at that turn. We have 4 17-year-old swimmers in this heat. That's Ethan Kelly, Llewellyn Porter, Harry Milne and Lucas Gallant-Tracy. First at the 150-metre turn, Jordan Cooley in the 19 years and over category. And Charlie Hutchison in that same age group, second at that turn. Robotham Keating, who was third at that turn, also in the 19 plus. We've probably only got 2 places in the final between these 3 swimmers, so it's going to be very close at the touch. The first 2 of these first 3 will probably qualify for the 19 years plus final. Who's going to get there? It's Charlie Hutchison in 150 dead, followed there by Jordan Cooley, 150.16, and Ruben Robotham Keating, 150.69. We'll have to wait and see if that's good enough for a place in the final. Llewellyn Porter in the 17 years category will qualify for the 17-year final. Ethan Kelly and Lucas Gallant-Tracy should all make it as well. On to the final heat, Heat 12. And our swimmers here are Oliver Murray for Millfield, Samuel Sterry for Tigers of Jersey, Stefan Kraviec for Edinburgh University, Harry Wynne-Jones for Loughborough University, Joe Litchfield for Loughborough University, Tyler Melbourne-Smith for Loughborough University, David Annis for University of Stirling, Samuel Sutcliffe for Ramsbottom, Daniel Codaverde for Stockport Metro, and Morgan Davis for Mount Kelly. At the turn, 3 Loughborough University swimmers, first, second and third there. Joe Litchfield, Tyler Melbourne-Smith and Harry Wynne-Jones. All of those swimmers will be trying to get under 1 minute 50. We have 3 16-year-olds in this heat. That's Oliver Murray at the top of the picture. And then in lanes 2 and 1, Samuel Sutcliffe and Daniel Codaverde. Melbourne-Smith turning there in 53.67. Wynne-Jones in 53.7. Sutcliffe in 53.85. And that's a really strong swim here for Samuel Sutcliffe in the 16 years category. And he's leading Daniel Codaverde, another 16-year-old, in lane 1. Final turn. Tyler Melbourne-Smith first over, Harry Wynne-Jones second, and then Samuel Sutcliffe. And I can't really stress enough how good a swim this is for Samuel Sutcliffe, 3 lanes from the bottom. He might be 5th at the moment in this heat, but he is 16 years of age. This is going to be a really good time for him. In the middle then, as we come into the final 5 metres, it's going to be Tyler Melbourne-Smith, I think, ahead of Harry Wynne-Jones, and it's David Annis who actually gets in there in second place. Joe Litchfield in 4th there. We didn't get anyone under 1 minute 50 in that heat. But when you look at the results here, Samuel Sutcliffe in 5th, 152.19. He'll be in the 16-year-olds final. Oliver Murray will be in there as well with 154.57. So too Daniel Codaverde, 153.64. And you can find the complete list of the finalists if you look for the Aquatics GB website. We don't have time to give you all of those details here. We're moving on to the women's multi-classification 200 metres freestyle heats now. We only have 1 heat in this event, and all of our swimmers here are in the S14 category. So we have 9 swimmers competing here. Poppy Maskill for Manchester Performance Centre in lane 8. Louise Fiddis for Hatfield in 7. Olivia Newman-Baronius for Maxwell in 6, Georgia Sheffield for Bolton Metro in 5, Bethany Firth for Newcastle in 4, Sienna Oxby for Stockport Metro in 3, Saskia Webb for Pembrokeshire in 2, Emily Higgs for Newport Pagnell in 1, and Tilia Glynn for Knutsford Amateurs in 0. Poppy Maskill was first at the turn, then it's Louise Fiddis. And in these multi-classification events, the fastest swimmers are on the far side of the pool. So you can see that pattern largely reflected there, that lane 8, Poppy Maskill is leading ahead of lane 7, 6, 5. And then you can see that Bethany Firth is performing very well in lane 4 because she's ahead of that pattern. So that's a good way of judging how well each individual swimmer is performing. Louise Fiddis first to turn there in 62.44, just ahead of Poppy Maskill. And Bethany Firth was third at that turn. These 3 swimmers out in front with 75 metres to swim here. Now remember, in these multi-classification events, there are consideration times to swim for the World Para Swimming Championships, which come up in September. The target time, the consideration time for S14 classification swimmers is 2:08.55. Swimmers have already been selected for this event. Bethany Firth in lane 4 going well, and Georgia Sheffield finishing strongly in lane 5. I would think Georgia Sheffield, the way she's finishing, is going to finish first here. Indeed, it is Georgia Sheffield who comes into touch first, just ahead of Bethany Firth. Third there was Poppy Maskill, and you see the points for the classification. Everybody in this heat swimming in the S14 classification, so the times, the finishing times, do reflect the number of points, and that will become clearer how that reflects swimmers' performances as we go on during the week. But suffice to say there, Georgia Sheffield 2:11.18, and that was worth 838 points. Bethany Firth second, 2:11.62, that's worth 830 points. Poppy Maskill in third there, 2:12.46. And we'll explain more about those points when we have more multi-classification events as the week goes on. We're on now to men's 100 metres breaststroke. 13 heats. And the 3 swimmers in heat 1 are all in the 13-14 year age group. Mitchell Rolls, Noah Willer and Oscar Earthroll. Reading from the top of our picture, in the pink cap, Oscar Earthroll, swimming for Lancing College. And then in the middle of these 3, it's Noah Willer for Waltham Forest Gators, and then Mitchell Rolls for City of Southampton, closest to us. There are 19 swimmers in this category. We'd expect a time of about 1:12, getting under 1:12 to challenge for a place in the final. So that's really the target for these 3 swimmers, under 1:12, and they would start to think they might be in with a chance of qualifying. Earthroll out in front, followed here by Noah Willer and Mitchell Rolls. Into the last 10 metres. And Noah Willer is getting closer and closer with every stroke. Here is Earthroll going to hold on. I think he will, but only just. Can they get under 1:12? Yes, Earthroll does. So does Noah Willer and Mitchell Rolls. Well, that's a good time for every swimmer there. And that puts a bit of pressure on the swimmers still to come. Well done, everyone, in that heat, because swimming PBs here, they've all gone 2 seconds faster than their fastest times this season. Noah Willer had been 1:11.49 in the past, so that's a PB for him. On to heat 2. Our swimmers here, Jaden Wong for Sutton and Cheam, George Pearce for Winsford, Josh Reed for City of Norwich, Jake Battle for Repton, Jacob Garshinsky for Isle of Man, Jack Calderbank for Chorley Marlins, Hero Dwan for Enfield Swim Squad, and Harry Connor for Stratford Sharks. And Harry Connor, the nearest to us, is in the 13 years category, born in February 2012. But all of these swimmers are swimming for a place in that 13-14 final. Jack Calderbank first at the turn, 33.4, ahead of Harry Connor, 33.85, and then Jake Battle, 34.05. In lane 3, Jack Calderbank has a PB of 1 minute 10. Everybody here trying to go under 1:11.06, the fastest time we've seen so far. Calderbank in the lead, but Jacob Garshinsky is coming back at him, and so too Harry Connor as we get into the last 5 metres. It's going to be a battle here between Calderbank and Garshinsky, and it's Garshinsky who gets there, 1:10.66, that's a PB. Harry Connor, 1:10.99, that's a PB by over 2 seconds. Jack Calderbank, 1:11.05, and significantly, Calderbank's time there, 1/100th of a second faster than we had in the previous heats. And those first 5 swimmers there under 1:12 will all think they're in with a chance of qualifying for the final. On we go to heat 3. Our swimmers here, Kapla Ehler for Chelsea and Westminster, Vincent Wun for Camden Swiss Cottage, Alexander Young for Dorking, Nico Hero for Chelsea and Westminster, Ziyang Yang for Abingdon Vale, Rua Vic for Warren de Baths, Leo Condi for Poole, Rocco Murphy for Nuneaton and Bedworth, James Farnan for Isle of Man, and James Nightingale for City of Leicester. Rua Vic in lane 4, battling with Ziyang Yang to get to the 50-metre turn first. It's Yang who gets there by 5/100ths of a second. Yang and Vic, the 2 swimmers out in front, are in the 15-year-old category here. We've got 3 swimmers in the 13s, 14s. They are Kaplan Eller at the top of our screen in lane 9, Nico Hero in lane 6, and Leo Condi in lane 3. They'll all be trying to get under 1:11. But let's concentrate on lane 5 here. Ziyang Yang, what time can he register here? This is a great swim for him. 1:09.19. And Kaplan Eller, 1:10.14. That will definitely get Kaplan into the final for the 13-14 year age group. 69.19 there for Ziyang Yang. That's a PB. Good swim for him. On to heat 4. Our swimmers here, Jake Mock for Sevenoaks, George Custer for the Royal Score Wolverhampton, Hao Ming Du for Bromley, Lucas Sanders for Sevenoaks, Roman Wood, University of Aberdeen Performance, Harry Meakin for Biddulph, Alexander Black, Sutton and Cheam, Leo Talbot, Bolton Metro, Jaden Carter, Basildon and Phoenix, and Ethan McMillan Cole for City of Brighton and Hove. Harry Meakin of Biddulph in lane 4. Looks like he will turn first, just ahead of Hao Ming-du. Both of those swimmers under 32 seconds. And Roman Wood also under 32 at the 50-metre mark. In this heat, we have 3 swimmers for the 13-14 age group. They are at the bottom of the picture, the 2 lanes nearest to us, Jaden Carter and Ethan McMillan-Cole, and at the top of the picture, Jake Mock. Jake Mock is going well here. Looks like he'll definitely make it into his age group final. And in lane 4, Harry Meakin coming through here to finish strongly. 1:07.36 for Harry. That's a PB by 0.3 of a second. Jake Mock there, second place, 68.7, a 2-second PB. He's into the final for the 13-14 year age group. In third place, Lucas Sanders, 68.78. That's a PB by over a second. Roman Wood in in fourth place there, 69.04, also with a PB. George Custer, 69.08. That's a PB as well by over a second. On to heat 5. The swimmers in heat 5, Brogan Smith for Glen Rothis, Stepans Nastiuks for Stranraer Stingrays, Harry West for City of Bristol, Rhys James for Rhondda, Leroy Shee for City of Birmingham, Anthony Ward for Hackney Anaconda, Benjamin Greenslade for Tiverton, Joseph Storr, City of Coventry, Fraser Dow, Perth City, and Harry Douglas for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Our swimmers in this heat, we've got 5 swimmers in the 15-year-old age group. Benjamin Greenslade first at the turn is one of those. Just ahead there at the turn of Harry West. So Benjamin Greenslade in the blue cap for Tiverton. Going well, also going well. Harry West, 3 lanes from the top for City of Bristol. Those 2 swimmers look like they will be first to the wall, but we've got a few catching up behind them. Benjamin Greenslade then, he's got a PB of 68.72. He's beaten that comfortably, 66.69. Harry West, 67.45. That's a PB by about 1.4 seconds, I make it. Anthony Ward, 68.2. That's a PB. We like to celebrate the PBs. Harry Douglas, 68.29. Also knocking 3/4 of a second off his previous best. Leroy Shee, 68.34. That's a PB as well. On to heat 6. And our swimmers here are Seb Little for Hackney Anaconda, Charlie Calf for Guildford City, Charlie Ruddle for Team Ipswich, Leighton Lavelle for Durham City, Henry Shepherd for Bromley, Benjamin Pedergill for Camden Swiss Cottage, Hayden Sanders for Bromley, Harry Mack for Portsmouth North Sea, Jensen Pickett for City of Birmingham, and Joseph Wright for Chesterfield. Swimmers in this heat largely have PBs of 68 seconds. First at the turn there was Harry Mack, 31.63. Joseph Wright, 31.78. Third at that turn was Seb Little. Hayden Sanders, 4 from the bottom of the picture here, is in the 13-14 year age group. He's in 8th place at the moment, but looks like he will qualify for the 13-14 final the way he's swimming. Remember, everyone here try to get under 68 seconds. Only one of these swimmers has done that in the past. How many can we get under 68 here as they all stretch for the wall? Not quite for Benjamin Pedergill, 68.05. Second, Joseph Wright, 68.28. Nevertheless, that is a PB for Benjamin Pedergill. Harry Mack, 68.33. That's a PB. Henry Shepherd, 68.87. just outside his PB there in 5th place. And look, Hayden Sanders there at the bottom, 110.25, but that should get him in the 13-14s final. On to heat 7. In lane 9 at the top of the picture, Adam Maref for Wickham District. In lane 8, it's Eden Saint for Derby XL. Lane 7, Matthew Day for Northumberland and Durham. Casper Wilk is in 6 for Mount Kelly. Then it's Harry Robinson for Reeds. Frederick Dutoff for Guildford City. Joseph Hall for City of Leeds. Storm Hegenhugen for Hackney Anaconda. Oliver Murray for Millfield. And Lucas Carter for Swindon Dolphin. And look at Lucas Carter here. He's going to turn comfortably in first in 30.67. Well, this is unbelievable for Lucas Carter. His PB is 68.13. So I think it's going to be difficult for him to hold on, but maybe not. Maybe he has reached a new level here. At the bottom of our picture here, Lucas Carter swimming really well. In the middle of the screen then, Frederick Dutoft in second at the moment. Then it's Casper Wilk. Dutoft in lane 4 is in the 16-year age group, and he's finishing very strongly here. Dutoft is going to touch first. What will the time be? He's got a PB of 67.21. That's a PB. Then Lucas Carter, 67.26. So that's a PB for him. Casper Wilk, 67.29. Just outside his PB, Joseph Hall. And look there, in 6th place, Harry Robinson in the 15-year age group, 68.59. And also Eden Saint in 8th place there, also a 15-year-old, 69.34. Good swims for them. On to heat 8. Our swimmers here, Benjamin Roberts for Grantham, Archie Piggott for Killer Whales, Aubrey Armada Bennett for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Quinn Austin Kelly for Skipton, Finley Gillam for Bromley, James McGettigan for Thurrock, Connor Fleck for Tilehurst, Alexander Granado for Oakhampton Otters, and Jaden Leo for Derby XL, and Craig Shaw for South Lanarkshire. In the middle of the pool, Finley Gillam of Bromley looks like he'll just turn first in 30.59, ahead there of McGettigan. McGettigan in lane 4 is in the 16-year age group. Also in the 16-year age group here, Benjamin Roberts at the top of our picture, and 2 lanes from the bottom, Jaden Leo for Derby XL. Benjamin Roberts is going very well at the top of the picture, but in lane 5 it's Finley Gillam ahead of Quinn Austin Kelly in 6, and it looks like Quinn Austin Kelly is going to come through to touch first here. And his PB, 67.66. That's a huge PB. No wonder he's pleased with that. What a swim for Quinn Austin Kelly, 65.97. Brilliant. Finley Gillam was second then, 66.67. Let's not take away from the fact that's a PB by almost a second for him. Alexander Granado there, 66.79. Also a PB by roughly a second. And look at the 16-year-olds there. Benjamin Roberts, 67.18. James McGettigan and Jaden Leo. On to heat 9. Our swimmers here, Blake Price of Bridlington, Jacob Barnett for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Finley Sang for City of Glasgow, Jonathan Waters for Preston, Thomas Woofenden for City of Leeds, Joseph Bale for Mount Kelly, Rory Webster for Dumfries, Arian Nath for Corby, Stanley Partridge for Plymouth Leander, and Rhys Burns for Chelmsford City. In lane 4, Joseph Bale is in the 13-14 years category. It's Rory Webster who turns first, 30.7, followed in there by Jonathan Waters, 30.97, and then Finley Sang and Rhys Burns. Out in front then, Rory Webster with a PB of 67.15. Jonathan Waters of Preston going well as well. And his PB is 67.17. But 67.15 was the PB previously here for Rory Webster. 65.69. Fantastic swim. Second there, Jonathan Waters, 67.49. Third in that heat, Thomas Wufferden. Age groups crucial here. Look at Joseph Bale, fourth place, but he's in the 13-14 years, 67.77. He'll be swimming again in the 13-14s final later on today. On to heat number 10. Our swimmers here, Joshua Sackery for City of Peterborough, Henry Guppy for Millfield, Lucas Lovell for Portsmouth North Sea, Patrick Dee for City of Coventry, Jack James, Torfin Dolphins, Lachlan Small for Stirling, Nicholas Land for Newcastle, Edward Ormsby for City of Cambridge, Toby Bullock for Midlothian, and Logan van der Meulen for Stirling. What a start at the top of the picture for Joshua Sackery for City of Peterborough. He will turn first comfortably here. What a first 50, 29.69. Joshua's PB is 66.91. Second at that turn in lane 3 was Nicholas Land, and then Patrick Dee. Land's PB 66.64 before today. Sackery still out in front and looking strong. This is really good in lane 9 for Joshua Sackery. And Sackery is going to touch first. 66.91, a previous PB. That's a PB by almost 2 seconds. Nicholas Land second there, 65.24. 1.5 seconds or thereabouts off his previous best. Lucas Lovell finishing in third there. That's a PB by 0.2 of a second. And Lucas Lovell in the 16-year age group, also in the 16-year age group, finishing seventh in that heat. Lachlan Small, 66.91. On to heat 11. Our swimmers, Johnny Martin for Perth City, Ryan Mills for Middlesbrough, Wilfred Lee for Millfield, Samuel Neild for the University of Birmingham, Joshua Mitchell for Edinburgh University, William Tonks for Repton, Saxon Minto for Chelmsford City, Luke Ibbison for Loughborough University, Jeremiah Carnegie for Whitgift, and Charlie Rogers for Basildon and Phoenix. In lane 2 and lane 5 and lane 6 going well here, that's Ibbison, Mitchell and Neild. Ibbison turning first in lane 2, 29.49. Luke Ibbison is in the 19 years and over category. So too Joshua Mitchell, who was second at that turn, and Samuel Neild, who was in third place. Swimmers here really need to be getting PBs to be getting into their respective finals the way this has gone. And lane 5, Joshua Mitchell for Edinburgh, swimming really well in this second 50, coming through. He'll get into the final for the 19 years and over category, that's for sure. Strong finish in lane 3 as well for Saxon Minto, who touches second, 63.35, just 100th of a second ahead of William Tonks. Now, both Minto and Tonks are in the 17 years age group. They'll be into their 17 years final with those swims. Joshua Mitchell, 62.65. Saxon Minto, 63.35. William Tonks, 63.36. And then Luke Ibbison. And look at there, in 7th place, Wilfred Lee in the 16 years category, 65.16. On to heat 12, only 2 heats left. Our swimmers, Rydian Shepherd for City of Cardiff, William Irvine for Mount Kelly, Royas Kringelis for City of Glasgow, Harvey Freeman for Loughborough University, Rafe Dobson for University of Stirling, Joshua Inglis for Mount Kelly, William Godsell for University of Bath, Edward Robinson, Chelsea and Westminster, Jose Rodriguez for Millfield, and King Sum Lu for City of Salford. PBs in this heat, well, they vary from 62 seconds in the middle of the pool to 66 on the edges, because we're in the circle seeded heats here. First at the turn, Joshua Inglis in 29.29, followed there by Harvey Freeman and Rafe Dobson. We have two 16-year-olds in this heat. William Irvine, 2 lanes from the top of the picture, and 2 lanes from the bottom, Jose Rodriguez. We also have one 17-year-old, Edward Robinson, in lane 2. But who's going to come through to win this heat? Joshua Inglis and Rafe Dobson fighting it out. It looks like it will be Inglis, but actually Dobson gets there. 62.07, that's a great finish, and a PB for Rafe Dobson. Joshua Inglis 62.15. Well, they'll both be hoping to get through to their finals with that time. I think Joshua Inglis will get into the 18-year category final with that. Jose Rodriguez, a 16-year-old, in 5th place there. 64.5 will get into the 16 years final. So too will William Irvine for Mount Kelly. And in 6th there, Edward Robinson should be in the 17 years final with that performance. Final heat now, heat number 13. The swimmers, Rhys Dodd for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Frederick Beasley for Poole, Jamie Steadman for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Rowan Smith for City of Sheffield, Adam Bradley for Mount Kelly, Rory Dixon for University of Stirling, Charlie Joe Hallett for Plymouth College Aquatics, Can Tugjeton for the University of Birmingham, Thomas Williams for Windsor, and Finlay Lowe for Blythe Barracudas. Lane 6 going well here. Rowan Smith touched out at the turn just by Rory Dixon. Both of those in the 19 years and over category. Third at the turn there, Can Tugjeton for the University of Birmingham, also in the 19 years and over. Keep an eye on the bottom of the picture. 8th place at the moment, Finlay Lowe, but swimming in the 17 years age group. So trying to keep up with everybody here to qualify for his final. Lane 4 then, Rory Dixon's going to finish first in this heat and qualify comfortably for the 19 years and over final. He's got a PB of 60.93, 61.52 the time. Rowan Smith in second there, just outside his best, with 63.51. And in third place, Charlie Joe Hallett. Charlie Joe's time there, 63.66. Adam Bradley should be in the 18 years final there with 63.76. But the other 18-year-olds there might have to wait and see. And Finlay Lowe, 17 years age group, 10th place there, but 66.85, and he'll have to wait and see if that's good enough for a place in the final. You'll have to check the website for the complete list of finalists. We don't have time, I'm afraid, to get through them all because the swims and the heats come thick and fast in these heat sessions, as I'm sure you will appreciate. We are straight on to the next event. It's women's 200 metres butterfly. This is heat 1. We have 12 heats to come. We have 9 swimmers then in heat 1. Vivian Wilkinson for Wirral Metro at the top of our picture. Megan Daniel for Carradon, India Brown for Plymouth College Aquatics, Molly Bates for Wrexham, Elkie Foster for City of Leeds, Emily England Hall for City of Leeds, Ellie Schofield for Aquabears of Rochdale, Mia Robinson for Southport, and Florence Dixon of City of Leeds. It's Megan Daniel for Carradon who will turn in first place here. Megan is swimming in the 15 years age group. Followed into the turn there by Ellie Schofield, another 15-year-old swimmer in 32.22. Third at that turn was Molly Bates, who's in the 13-14 category. But Megan Daniel swimming brilliantly here. 4 lengths of the pool. Starting strongly and getting into a good rhythm. Followed in lane 6 by India Brown into this turn. And then it was Ellie Schofield turning in 3rd. Molly Bates turning in 4th. Emily England Hall in 5th. And Emily England Hall in lane 3, turning 5th there, is a 13-year-old swimmer. So she will still be in the 13-14 years category next year. Born in November 2012, Emily England Hall. Let's concentrate here on Megan Daniel's brilliant swim. And India Brown as well, because India Brown is slowly catching up. Bit of a glide into the turn there for Megan Daniel. And India Brown could come through here. India looking strong in this final 50 metres, and also in lane 3, Emily England Hall. And remember, Emily in the 13-year age group, so she swims in the 13-14 year age group. India Brown comes through to take the lead, but I think Emily England Hall might actually come through to touch first into the last 5 metres. This is a brilliant swim for Emily England Hall. A previous best for her of 2:28.67. That's a 3.5 second personal best. India Brown, 2:26.08. That is also a PB. Megan Daniel, a PB by 2 seconds as well. Great swim. In 4th place there, Elkie Foster. Her time, 2:27.67, right on her PB. And we celebrate the PBs because that means the swimmers, the coaches, everybody's put everything together and turned it into a great performance when it matters. But look at that, Emily England Hall, 2:25.38. What a swim. Our swimmers here in lane 9, Layla Jelbawi for Camden Swiss Cottage. Then it's Emily Hall for Warrington Warriors, Kira Cust for Swim Conwy, Katie Aitchison for Warrender Baths, Phoebe Wetherill for Doncaster Darts, Bethan James for Wirral Metro, Esme Wykes for Millfield, Samantha Taylor for York City, and Molly Norton for City of Leeds. Out in front in lane 8 is Emily Hall for Warrington Warriors, turning first there in 32.07. Followed into the turn there in lane 5 by Phoebe Wetherill, 32.2. And then it was Kira Cust. So we've got 4 swimmers in this heat in the 13-14 category. And they are at the top of the screen, Layla Jelbawi. Then in lane 6, Katie Aitchison. And then in 3 and 2, Esme Wykes and Samantha Taylor. Emily Hall out in front is in the 15 years age group, turning first, but only just ahead of Phoebe Wetherill. So both of our first 2 swimmers here are in the 15-year age group. In 3rd place in the green cap for Warrender Baths, Katie Aitchison is in the 13-14 year age group. And at the bottom of our picture there, Molly Norton going well for City of Leeds. Coming into the final turn, and it looks like it will be Phoebe Wetherill to turn first. 1:47.6, followed in there by Emily Hall, and then Katie Aitchison. So Wetherill and Hall both in the 15 years category, but Katie Aitchison in 3rd place, swimming in that 13-14 age group. This is a really strong finish here for Phoebe Wetherill. She's got a PB of 2:27.76. She's going to knock some time off that. if she finishes strongly. 2:27.76 is her previous best. 2:26.2, 1.5 seconds off her previous fastest swim. Katie Aitchison, 2:28.2. That will be good enough, I would think, to get a place in the final for the 13s and 14s. Third place there, Emily Hall, 2:29.94. And Molly Norton in fourth place there with 2:30.86. On we go to heat 3. Swimmers in heat 3, Lily Tappan for Corby, Victoria Bunimovic for Chelsea and Westminster, Alana Donlan for Warrington Warriors, Alice Ward for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Abigail Bayton for City of Sheffield, Holly Jocelyn for Exeter City, Rin Mayo for Barnet Copthall, Isabel Fox for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Kira Pemble for Weymouth and District, and Josie Amy James for the Royal School Wolverhampton. It's Kira Pemble who will turn first after 50 metres in 30.71. Second at that turn, Rin Mayo for Barnet Copthall. And it's worth remembering in lanes 3 and 4 here, Rin Mayo and Holly Jocelyn are both 13-year-olds born in 2012. Also going well at the top of the picture, Lily Tappan for Corby. At the halfway point then, it will be Kara Pimble to turn first, ahead of Holly Jocelyn. Rin Mayo was third at that turn. Josie Amy James fourth. Then Abigail Bayton and Lily Tappan. Holly Jocelyn in lane 4. Looking strong. Holly swimming for Exeter City. And then there's a group of 5 or 6 swimmers trying to keep up. Jocelyn's PB is 2:23.19. And she's looking strong in the last 50 here. No sign of the other swimmers closing in significantly. Although Rin Mayo is finishing strongly as well. 3 lanes from the top. Alana Donlan is also finishing strongly. The first 3 swimmers in this heat at the moment are all in the 13-14 age group. The fastest time in that age group so far, 2:25.38. They're all trying to get under that time. Holly Jocelyn, 2:23.65. That will see her into the 13-14 final comfortably. Alana Donlan, 2:25.64. That should be a place in the final as well. Should get 4 swimmers, I think, from this heat in the 13-14s. All 3 of those first 3 swimmers should all qualify for the final of the 13-14s. And also there, Josie James. On to heat 4. Starter asking the swimmers to stand down. We're going to go through the start process again. It wasn't a full start. There's no impact on the swimmers. Our swimmers in heat 4, Lola Bowra for Sevenoaks, Tiffany Latham for the Royal School Wolverhampton, Annie McLeod for Putteridge, Eva Ives for Hatfield, Abigail Crawford for City of Glasgow, Amber Hinton for Dumfries, Georgia Holgate for City of Cambridge, Emma Hill for Teddington, Akimi Futatsugi for City of Bristol, and Amy Jones for Leatherhead. We have one swimmer from the 13s and 14s here in lane 2. That's Emma Hill. First at the turn, Eva Ives is in the 16-year age group. And second at that turn, Amy Jones in the 15-year age group. And Amy Jones, from that turn, looks like she's moved into the lead. And Akimi Futatsugi for City of Bristol is also swimming strongly on this second 50, also going well. Eva Ives for Hatfield. And in lane 4, Amber Hinton for Dumfries. Who's going to get to the halfway turn ahead? It's Amy Jones. 0.3 of a second ahead of Akimi Futatsugi. And then Amber Hinton in third at that turn. And all three of those swimmers are in the 15-year age group. Emma Hill was 9th at the turn, but she's in the 13-14s. So she's trying to hang on to everybody and hope that she's powered through to the 13-14s final. Still out in front then, Amy Jones, ahead of Akemi Futatsugi. Jones in 1:45.08 at the turn, Futatsugi 1:46.46. Hinton in lane 4, Amber Hinton 1:46.93, and Eva Ives 1:48.36. And this is a strong finish here from Amy Jones. Amy's PB 2:25.63. If she gets to 2:23 or under, she'll be a contender for a medal in the 13-14 category. And she does just that, 2:23.49. Amber Hinton second there, 2:24.98. Akimi Futatsugi third, 2:26.41. Good swims for all of those swimmers. Amy Jones, previous PB 2:25.63, so that's a 2-second PB for her. In the 15s category, I think under 2 minutes 26 you get into the final or thereabouts. In the 16s, the Abigail Crawford 2:28.67. I don't think that will be quite good enough for a place in the final. On to heat 5. Our swimmers here, India Washer for Wickham District, Heidi Corbett for Guildford City, Hattie Lever for Whitney District, Paige Welton for Stafford Apex, Mai Hayakawa for Barnet Copthall, Lucy Fielding for Camden Swiss Cottage, Gabrielle Freeman for Northumberland and Durham Performance, Evie Louise Hanley for Oakhampton Otters, that's Evie Louise Hanley for Oakhampton Otters, Jessica Lyons for City of Leicester, and Lois Ward for Nuneaton and Bedworth. First at the turn, Heidi Corbett for Guildford City. Second there, Hattie Lever for Whitney and District. And those two swimmers with a body length on everybody else. India Washer at the top of the picture in third place at that turn. Heidi Corbett, our leader, 2 lanes from the top in the 13-14 age group. And there's another 13-14 swimmer at the bottom of the picture, Lois Ward for Nuneaton and Bedworth. Heidi Corbett turns first, 66.43, ahead of Hattie Lever in 66.94. And they still have a clear lead. And in fact, that lead is increasing over Mai Hayakawa and the rest of the field. Hayakawa in third place at the moment. Fourth, I think, Lucy Fielding in lane 4. And Jessica Lyons and Lois Ward, the two swimmers nearest to us, are also in contention there. Into the final turn. Heidi Corbett turning first. 1:44.24, ahead of Hattie Lever in 1:44.47. Corbett in that 13-14 age group. Needs to be getting under 225, I think, for a place in the final, the way things have gone. Hattie Lever in the 17-year age group. She's quite going to get contend for a place in the final, but she's looking for a PB here. In fact, both of these swimmers looking for PBs. They've both got PBs of 225. Heidi Corbett 223.31, Hattie Lever 223.91. Lois Ward in third place there, 224.55. That's a PB by over a second. Jessica Lyons 224.65, fastest she swum this season. In fifth place there, Mai Hayakawa 225.89, right on top of her personal best. 14-year-olds will be hopeful of getting into their final with those swims. We go on to heat number 6. And the swimmers are Lydia Shipley for Middlesbrough, Scarlett Capaldi for Northumberland and Durham, Petra Varga for Wirral Metro, Olivia Greenall, City of Norwich, Louise Lavina for Willesden Rapids, Ellie McLeod for Woking, Joanne Andrews for Ellesmere College, Lucy Grant for City of Newport, Lauren Berry for Wirral Metro, and Ella Faulkner for Stockport Metro. Lucy Grant in lane 2 is going to turn first here. 30.66 ahead of Joanne Andrews. In this heat, we have two swimmers in the 13-14 age group. They are Ellie McLeod in lane 4 and Lydia Shipley in lane 9 at the top of the picture. And of those two, Lydia is looking strong right now. Going well in lane 3, Joanne Andrews for Ellesmere College. And 3 lanes from the top, Petra Varga for Wirral Metro as well. Who's going to reach the halfway point first? Well, actually, it's lane 6, Olivia Greenall, just ahead of Joanne Andrews and Petra Varga. Varga was only 1/100th of a second ahead of Lydia Shipley. So Shipley at the top of the picture in the 13-14 age group. 2 lanes further down, Petra Varga in the 17s and Olivia Greenall in the 16s. So they're actually fighting for places in 3 different finals as those first 3 reach the final turn. Joanne Andrews turned in 4th place there. She's in the 15-year category, so swimming for a place in another final as well. So we could have a first 4 here of swimmers getting into 4 different finals potentially. Lydia Shipley out in front in the 13-14 age group. Swimming really well here, Lydia Shipley. And then we have Joanne Andrews, it seems, likely to be second in this heat, or maybe Petra Varga. It's Shipley first, 2:22.12. That's a definite place in the final for her. Joanne Andrews, 2:22.55. That's, well, you'd expect that to be good enough for a place in the 15 years final. Petra Varga, 2:22.87. She'll have to wait and see if that gets in the 17 years final. But 2:22.12 for Lydia Shipley. That's a PB by over a second and a half. Joanne Andrews, 2:22.55. Also a PB, a significant PB. We go on to heat number 7. Swimmers in this heat are Iona Nightingale Ellis for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Ruby Sheehan for Wigan Best, Mia Hughes for Bromley, Henrietta Chick for Winsford, Evelyn Toy for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Evie Cutter for Wigan Best, Eleanor Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage. Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson for Northumberland and Durham Performance. Orla McInnes for Heart of Midlothian. And Grace Yardley for Brompton. And it's Yardley who turns first in 30.03. Almost a second ahead of Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson. Grace Yardley is in the 15-year age group. And Yardley is the third fastest 15-year-old in this event this year. She's going to turn first here, followed into the wall by Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson. And O'Halloran Hutchinson, with a good swim, could well get into the final for the 18-year-olds here. She looks like she's on course for that. Evie Cutter in lane 4 in third place at the moment, trying to get into the 16 years age group final, and looks like she's on course to do exactly that as well. These three swimmers out in front look like they are all on course for places in finals. It does depend on the performances of swimmers to come after them. Evie Cutter 1:44.46. Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson 1:44.60. Grace Yardley hoping to hang in there. By and large, swims in the low 220s should get into finals in these remaining heats. And it's Evie Cutter swimming in to touch first here in the last 5 metres, followed by Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson. We're looking at the clock. Can we get under 2:22 here? We can for Evie Cutter, 2:21.86. Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson, 2:22.75. Evelyn Toy, 2:24.12. And Iona Nightingale Ellis, 2:25.33. Well, I think we'll have places in the finals for Evie Cutter in the 16-year age group there. Evie O'Halloran Hutchinson hoping that might be good enough in the 18s. And Eleanor Porter, 2:32.73. I don't think that will get her in the 13-14 final. On to heat 8. Our swimmers here, Sophia Gledhill for City of Bradford, Francesca Harrison for City of Leicester. Then we have the vacant lane. In lane 6 is Zara Fitzpatrick for Bristol and South Gloucestershire. Lane 5, Lily Stansfield for Harrogate District. Lane 4, Erin Hawkins for City of Birmingham. Then it's Nancy Knight for Guildford City, Harriet Smith for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Alice Forrest for Northumberland and Durham Performance, and Ruby Muldowney for City of Bristol. Lane 1 will be first to turn. Alice Forrest for Northumberland and Durham Performance, 31.21. Second at the turn was Harriet Smith in 31.54. And Ruby Muldowney for City of Bristol in 31.63. In lane 5, Lily Stansfield is swimming for a place in the 15-year age group final. She's the only 15-year swimmer in this heat. We do have 3 in the 16 years age category. That's Francesca Harrison, 2 lanes from the top. And then in lane 4, Erin Hawkins, and 2 from the bottom, Alice Forrest. And it's Forrest turning first there, 67.77. Followed into the turn by Stansfield. And third at that turn, Sophia Gledhill at the top of the screen. And I think Gledhill is having a really good third 50 here. She's coming through, looks like she will turn first with 50 metres to go the way things are going. Also going well, Zara Fitzpatrick. And actually Fitzpatrick's going to get to this final turn first, just ahead of Gledhill. Fitzpatrick has got a PB of 2:22.59. Now, if she can get under that time, I think we'll be looking at a place in the 18 years final. Francesca Harrison, 2 lanes from the top, is also going well down this final 50. Looks like she might power through to finish second in this heat. And that would probably make her on course for a place in the 16 years final. Fitzpatrick, PB 222.59. She beats that comfortably, 222.62. Francesca Harrison with a PB as well in second place there, 222.07. Sophia Gledhill, 222.2. That's a season's best for her. Erin Hawkins, 223.41. I think we might have 2 swimmers there getting through to the 16 years final, and Lily Stansfield quite possibly in the 15 years final as well. On to heat number 9. Our swimmers in this heat are Alicia Bethel for Wickham District, Sienna Ramery for Wickham District, Chloe Barnard for Basildon and Phoenix, Emily Toms for Crawley, Eve Horton for Wigan Best, Jasmine Varties for Repton, Sierra Broadbelt for Mount Kelly, Millie Threlfall for City of Leeds, Neve Savoury for Newcastle, and Madeline Hind for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. Lane 3 here is Sierra Broadbelts. And Sierra was second at that turn, just 1/100th of a second behind Madeline Hind in lane 0. In this heat, we have 4 swimmers in the 16 years category. Hind in lane 0 nearest to us. We also have Millie Threlfall 3 lanes from the bottom. Jasmine Varties in lane 4. And then Chloe Barnard and Sienna Ramery. It looks like Varties will turn first at 100 metres, 66.08. Broadbelt second at the turn, 66.20. Three swimmers out in front then here. Emily Toms, Jasmine Varties and Sierra Broadbelt. And then in the chasing pack, might have some strong finishes still to come. Millie Threlfall is getting up into that leading bunch at the turn then. Emily Toms first to turn, followed by Jasmine Varties, Sierra Broadbelt and Millie Threlfall. Sierra Broadbelt looks like she's surging through here and might get past Emily Toms. Toms in 6, Eve Horton in 5. They're both in the 19s and over category. Varties in lane 4 in the 16 years and Sierra Broadbelt in lane 3 in the 17 years category. And a strong finish for Millie Threlfall also in the 16 years category. Who's going to touch first here? It's Varties, 2:21.25. You'd expect that time to put her in the final for the 16 years. Eve Horton, 2:21.38 PB. Emily Toms, 2:21.52 in third place there. Millie Threlfall, 2:22.01. And when we look at the results, bear in mind the age group categories. Swimmers getting under 2:22, I think, can reasonably expect to be qualifying for their finals. Millie Threlfall probably in the 16 years final with that 2:22.01. We go on to heat number 10. Swimmers here, Evie Mackey for South Lanarkshire, Megan Davis for Swansea University, Ines Geeman-Beaton for Camden Swiss Cottage, Isla Jones for City of Sheffield, Coco Crocs for South Lanarkshire, Lucy Fox for Loughborough University, Charlotte Johnson for Swansea University, Olivia Sheehan for the University of Birmingham, Ivy Haggerty for Thanet, and Matilda Ashcroft for City of Leeds. Not much between them at the first turn. 8 swimmers under 31 seconds. Only 7/10 of a second separating those first 8 swimmers at the first turn. Lane 4, Lucy Fox out in front. And at the moment, Ines Geeman-Beaton looks like she's in second place, with Charlotte Johnson coming through in lane 3. Lucy Fox then first to turn, 64.17 ahead of Charlotte Johnson. Lucy Fox looking strong. She's got a PB, the fastest PB in this heat of 2:11.67. Lucy Fox then swimming strongly into the final turn, and she'll be followed in there by Ines Geeman-Beaton and Charlotte Johnson in lane 3. Fourth at that turn was Isla Jones, and then Coco Croxford was 5th. Lucy Fox then in the 19s and over age group. PB of 2:11. We're not going to be as fast as that. Somewhere in the 2:15s will probably be worth a place in the final. Let's see. Yes, I think Lucy Fox is into the final there. 2:13.00. Second there, Charlotte Johnson, 2:15.97. And I think that's even good enough for a place in the 19s and over final. Ines Geeman-Beaton, 2:16.16. That's going to be a place in the final for her in the 17s, and it's a PB there as well in third place for Ines Geeman-Beaton. Isla Jones, 2:16.92, only missing her PB by 4/100th of a second. We go on to heat 11. We're into the final 2 heats. Our swimmers here are Evie Young for Mount Kelly, Olivia Hunter for Swansea University, Holly Marshall for City of Cardiff, Lacey Roberts for Plymouth College Aquatics, Edith Price for Mount Kelly, Abby Roscoe for Wirral Metro, Lucia Lesty for City of Salford, Jessica Huggins for Swim Bournemouth, Sadie Hunter for City of Peterborough, and Seren Talentire for Northumberland and Durham Performance. And it's Talentire who will turn first. 29.52 ahead of Edith Price in lane 5. Talentire, the leader, is in the 17 years age group, and Edith Price in lane 5 is in the 16 years age group. Third at the moment, Jessica Huggins in the 17 years, like Talentire, our leader. In fact, the 3 swimmers nearest to us here, they are all in the 17 years age group. Talentire and Price then, the first 2 to turn, 63.80 and 63.84 respectively. And the way things are going, you'd expect these 2 swimmers to qualify for their finals. Price is looking the stronger at the moment on this third 50. Sadie Hunter is looking strong as well in lane 1, and also Lacey Roberts in lane 6 coming through. Price to turn first then with 50 metres to go. 99/100th of a second ahead of Talentire. Third at that turn was Sadie Hunter. Edith Price then with a PB of 2:10.13. It's not going to be as quick as that, but 2:15 is a really good benchmark for qualifying for finals, I would say, in this event, the way things have gone. And it looks like Edith Price will get under that sort of time. 2:13.98, that should be good enough for a place in the final. Abby Roscoe, 2:16.73. Could well also get into the 16 years final. I think Lucia Lesti there in third place might just miss out with 2:16.88. That's a wait and see time. So our first three there, all 16 years. And we may have three qualifiers for the 16 years final there. Seren Talentar will be hoping 2:17.42 is good enough for a place in the 17 years final. This is the final heat then of this event, heat 12. And our swimmers in this final heat are Alyssa Lowe for City of Leicester, Amelia Fenner for Basildon and Phoenix, Faye Rogers for University of Aberdeen Performance, Poppy Lawrence for Leatherhead, Shannon Stott, City of Sheffield, Lucy Grieve, University of Stirling, Betsy Wizard for Northampton, Matilda Potter for City of Leeds, Chloe Cook for City of Sheffield, and Gracie Owen for Torfin Dolphins. And Gracie Owen will be first to turn here. Gracie swimming in the 17 years age group. There are three swimmers in the 17 years age group. And 2 lanes from the top, Amelia Fenner for Basildon and Phoenix in the orange cap. 2 lanes from the top there. She is the fastest swimmer this year in the 15 years age group for this event. So even though Amelia is currently, 9th in this heat, she may well be the fastest qualifier for the 15 years age group. She certainly has set the fastest time this year for 15-year-old swimmers. First at the turn halfway, Shannon Stott in 63.21, then Betsy Wizard 63.43, and Lucy Grieve in 64 dead. These three out in front. All of these swimmers in the 19 years and over category. As a rule of thumb, I think you've got to be going under 2:16 to be confident of a place in the final. Once again, I'll remind you, to get the full list of finalists, please go to the Aquatics GB website. You can find all the results there. Shannon Stott turning first, 1:37.87. Betsy Wizard, 1:37.89. And Lucy Grieve, 1:39.14. Poppy Lawrence in 4th place at the moment. Looks like she could be heading for a place in the 18 years final. And keep an eye on Amelia Fenner, 2 lanes from the top, orange cap. As long as she swims well, we'd expect her to be in the 15 years final too. Into the last 5 metres then, it's going to be Shannon Stott. If you get under 2:16, you should be in the final. So Shannon Stott's there comfortably. Betsy Wizard too. Lucy Grieve and Poppy Lawrence, I think they'll all be qualifying for finals. Matilda Potter in 2:17.32. And that's fantastic. Really fantastic. And we did have a world record in there as well, as you may have heard, as you may have seen on the big screen. And that was for one of our para swimmers swimming in that event. So if you saw world record appear on the screen, that's the reason. And I'll give you more details about that a bit later on. Things go thick and fast in these heat sessions. We're on to multi-classification men's 400 metres freestyle. Only one heat, but you can see here swimmers across several categories, S8, S9, S10 and S13. And this is when the points will tell you who wins the heats. I'll explain more as we go on. It's men's 400 metres freestyle. Our swimmers here are Kieran Williams for Newquay Cormorants, Rowan Brennan for Basildon and Phoenix, Bjorn Sebastian Ayen for South Lanarkshire, Thomas Navarro Barber for Portsmouth North Sea, Alfie Penfold for Crawley, Owen Johnson for Repton, Sam Downey for University of Stirling, Lewis Jones for Arran Tridents, Max Davis for Worksop Dolphins, Jamie Curtis for City of Bristol. So first thing to point out is that the swimmers are arranged so that it's the fastest on the far side of the pool, and their best times gradually across the pool mean that each individual swimmer will be expected to to finish in order from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's reflected by Kieran Williams being our leader here. Kieran's PB in this event is 4:20.52. You'll also see in lane 5 a tap on the head there for Alfie Penfold. S13 is a category for visually impaired athletes. And the swimmers will get times, or will get points rather, depending on their times for their category. So the points are measured against a sort of nominal maximum number of points of 1,000. So we don't really expect to see many performances over 1,000. 1,000 is really world class, and it reflects 1,000 points is the fastest swim in the last 3 years in that category anywhere in the world, and then the times are then measured against that. So 1,000 points is the benchmark, the fastest swim in the last 3 years anywhere in the world, and you can almost measure by the points as a sort of percentage of that time for all of the swimmers. If we get swims over 800 points or so, that is really strong performing in any category. So Kieran Williams is out in front. We have Rowan Brennan in second at the moment, and they are both S10 swimmers. Kieran Williams will turn first here. Rowan Brennan will come in second, and third here will be Thomas Navarro Barber. Now both Navarro Barber in lane 6 and the swimmer next to him in lane 7, Bjorn Sebastian Ayen, they are in the S9 category. Kieran Williams then out in front. I'm sure you will have realised it isn't the person who touches first who necessarily wins the race. It's the points that determine who win. We've got 100 metres to go. Kieran Williams 3:12.32. Second at this turn will be Rowan Brennan, another S10 swimmer. Then we've got the two S9 swimmers. Bjorn Sebastian Ayen has come through to get past Thomas Navarro Barber there. Alfie Penfold is an S13, and Owen Johnson an S10. So even though there are swimmers who we can't necessarily see right now, they could still win this race. It's the points that determine who wins the race. The highest score wins, dependent on the category. And that also helps explain why Kieran Williams is swimming just as hard as he possibly can here. The race is not over for him. He could well be competing against somebody who finishes 40 seconds behind him. So here we go then, Kieran Williams. You'll see the points ticking around as we see the swimmers touch the wall. Kieran Williams, 775 points there for a 4:18.71. That's a good swim for him. It's a PB by almost 2 seconds, so well done to Kieran Williams. Rowan Brennan scores 669 points with 4:31.7. Then Thomas Navarro Barber scoring 743 points, which at the moment puts him in second place in this race. We've got Sam Downey coming in next, 734 points, which puts him in third place at the moment. And then Max Davis and Jamie Curtis coming in after them. So Kieran Williams with a PB of 4:18.71. Then we arrange the swimmers in their points order. You'll see not their time order. Thomas Navarro Barber scoring 743. Bjorn Sebastian Ayen 738. That's how we determine the mixed classification results. Over 800 points we consider to be world class. So you can see a couple of performances there, well on the way to that level. And our next event is women's 50 metres breaststroke. 10 heats of this. We start from the other end of the pool. All of our races finish at the left end, so the 50 metres races start from the right-hand side. And we have 7 swimmers in heat 1. Our swimmers here: Alexia Augustin, Amelia Williams, Verity Hamilton, Chloe Grosvenor, Charlotte Shaw, Neve Savory and Charlotte Burfitt. We have 6 swimmers in the 15-year age group here and Neve Savory in the 17-year age group. And going well in lane 6 here is Amelia Williams for Guildford City, and also coming through Chloe Grosvenor for City of Birmingham. It's going to be between these two on the touch. In the middle, it looks like it will be Grosvenor. 34.78. That's a PB by almost a second for Chloe Grosvenor. Amelia Williams, 35.15, also a PB. Third there was Charlotte Shaw in 36.12. And, Neve Savory, 35.53 was third. Good swims from our first 2 swimmers. On to heat number 2. Our swimmers here are Jessica Hill, Ellis Davis, Talia Curtis, Gabriella Giblin, Maisie Simpson-Dawson, Elizabeth Adam, Isla Stewart, Neve Dunbar, Marina Kennedy and Maisie Brown. In lane 4 going well here, Elizabeth Adam in the 15-year age group. And also on the near side, Maisie Brown for Rushmore Royals in the 17 years category. 3 lanes from the bottom, Neve Dunbar going well as well in lane 2. It's going to be Elizabeth Adam to touch first, and then it's a real race for the second place. Elizabeth Adam, 34.36. That's a PB. Talia Curtis, second there, 34.74. That's a personal best as well. Ellis Davis, 34.76. Also a PB. Neve Dunbar, 34.85. Good swims there. On to heat 3. Swimmers here: Esme Hall, Charlize Harding, Alicia D'Souza, Sophie Ray, Kayla Smith, Lily Horton, Georgina Hamilton, Sophie Dixon, Sophie Kilby and Alexandra Dorr. Lane 4 is empty. And leading here, it looks like Sophie Dixon and Sophie Ray. Strong finishes here. Coming through at the end as well, Sophie Kilby. Who's going to get the touch? It's Georgina Hamilton, 34.42. Just 4/100ths of a second ahead of Sophie Kilby. And in third there, Sophie Ray, third place, Georgina Hamilton. Sophie Ray was third, 34.68. So Georgina Hamilton, 34.42. That's a personal best. Sophie Kilby with a 34.4 as well. That's another PB. On to heat number 4. Swimmers in heat 4, Iola Bellinger for Winchester City, Bethan Cook, Eve Hibberts, Scarlett Tinwell, Bianca Gomez Velasco, Ellie Rose Lyon, Amelia Murphy, Emily Brins, Ella Bissix and Bonnie Mooney. Ella Bissix going well in lane 1, also Bethan Cook, 2 lanes from the top of the picture. And in lane 3 now coming through, Amelia Murphy as well. It looks like it could be Bethan Cook as we come in and everybody stretches out for the touch. 2 quick strokes from Amelia Murphy, but it's Scarlett Tinwell in lane 6 who wins that heat in 34.09, a season's best time for Scarlett. Amelia Murphy second in 34.13. That's a PB, only 1/100th of a second faster than Bonnie Mooney. PB for Bonnie as well. Ella Bissix and Bethan Cook sharing 4th place in 34.22. On we go to heat number 5. Swimmers here, Olivia Taylor in the 15-year age group, Scarlett Davey, Perry Scobby, Annabelle Cook, Poppy Williams, Annalise Elford, Rose Harrison, Isabel Owen, Grace Earp and Kenza Ajimi. Far side there, Olivia Taylor in the 15-year age group, looks like she's out in front. And then Perry Scobby is also going well, 3 lanes from the top. Into the last 5 metres we go then, and it's going to be Olivia Taylor, I think. 33.63. That's a good PB, and that's surely going to be worth a place in the final for the 15-year age group. Perry Scobby 33.86. Annalise Elford 33.99. Poppy Williams was 4th there in 34.1. On to heat number 6. Lane 2 is empty here. We have Ellen Duffield, Gabriella Hunt, Olivia Zobek, Anna Farr, Gwenlyan Evans, Lauren Kenner, Margarita Stoimanova, Isabel Cameron, Isabel Cameron isn't swimming, Joni Dunn and Erin Kaplan O'Brien. Swimmers here are in 3 different age groups. By and large, if we get under 31 seconds or 32 seconds, I think we're into finals for sure, and everybody else has to wait and see. Gabriella Hunt, 33.20. Second there, Gwenlyan Evans, 33.7. That's a PB for Gabriella Hunt. Gwenlyan Evans, 33.7. Just outside her personal best. Pretty much everybody there in Heat 6 is waiting to see if they qualify for finals. I think we might get 2 or 3 through there in various age groups with those times. On to heat number 7. Well, full start there for Amy Hansen. Not necessarily a full start, maybe a faulty start. So Amy Hansen will be told by the official whether she'll be allowed to swim. Looks like she's been told to stand down, so a disqualification there for a false start. Well, it's heartbreaking when it happens because Amy is absolutely ready to swim, of course. And for a small mistake not to be able to compete, it's very difficult, but those are the rules. So we will continue with 9 swimmers in this heat. The 9 swimmers are Ava Neumann, Yanting Emily Pack, Sophie King, Alice Collins, Zahara Smith, Ruby Stevenson, Asia Kent, Ella Greatbatch and Phoebe Howard. And I think we saw in the way they started there, these swimmers, seeing somebody disqualified for a false start just makes you hold back a little bit on the start, and holding back at the start could cost you vital hundredths of a second, maybe a tenth or two, and that can be the difference between making a final and not making it. You've got to give everything, and looks like Alice Collins is going to touch first here in lane 5, 33.25. Would you believe that's only 1/100th of a second outside her PB? Second there, Ella Greatbatch in 33.57. And third there was Asia Kent in 33.7. I'm not sure that anybody managed to get a PB there, and I think that just reflects how seeing somebody disqualified just affects everybody's start. On we go to heat 8. Three heats to come. The swimmers here: Charlotte Bianchi, Anastasia Musat, Danielle Seong, Charlotte Hardy, Bethany Walker, Theodora Taylor, Camelia Stoimanova, Emily Morgan Hughes, Emily McGee and Mari Gibson. In lane 4, Theodora Taylor is leading here. She's in the 16 years age group. Anastasia Musat, 2 lanes from the top, is also in that 16 years age group. And it looks like Taylor's going to come through here to comfortably claim a place in the 16 years final. 31.43. Anything under 32, I think, is a guaranteed place in the final here. Probably anything under 32.5, really. So Theodora Taylor, 31.43. That's a 1/10 of a second personal best. Bethany Walker in second there. Charlotte Hardy in third. I think we can reasonably expect those first 3 swimmers all to make the finals in their age groups. It depends what happens in the remaining 2 heats, of course. This is heat 9. Anna Finley in lane 9. Then it's Amelie Spicer, Hannah Bowley, Gabriel Idle-Beavers, Imogen Miles, Jasmine Carter, Sienna Robinson, Sophie King, Mably Collier and Nellie Clark. Strong start in lane 3 for Sienna Robinson. But Jasmine Carter is coming through in lane 4, and also in lane 6, Gabrielle Idle-Beavers into the last 5 metres. Those 3 are out in front, and I think it could be Idle-Beavers as they go in for the touch. No, it's not. It's Sienna Robinson, 31.8. Second there, Idle-Beavers, 31.95. I think under 32 seconds is guaranteed, really, for a place in the final. I think that's a fair assumption. And under 32.5 is probably in finals for various age groups there. You can get the full list of qualifiers from the website as we go into the final heat, heat number 10. And the swimmers here, Sophie Hamilton, Emily Farr, Hannah Capron, Katie Goodburn, Amelia Riggott, Imogen Clark, Amy Crowley, Ashley Ransom, Lily Green and Caitlin Hartley. In lane 7 here, Hannah Capron is in the 16-year category, and in lane 1, Lily Green is in the 15 years age group. Out in front, Imogen Clark for Derby Excel in lane 4. Then we've got Amelia Riggott in 5 and Katie Goodburn in 6. It's Clark first, 31.24. Then Amelia Riggott, 31.9. Amy Crowley, 31.94. Katie Goodburn with 32.33. That's probably just going to get into the final for 19s and over. And then also look further down there, Hannah Capron in the 16 years age group, 32.6, and Lily Green in the 15s, 32.93. They should both be in finals with those swims as well. So well done to those swimmers. And we go on now to the men's mixed classification 100 metres breaststroke. One heat here. And swimmers in 3 different categories. SB6, SB8 and SB14. Once again, this is a race that will be decided by the points. The fastest swimmers will be expected to be on the far side of the pool in terms of their times, but that doesn't reflect the number of points they might score. So there are 8 swimmers there across 3 categories. It's the men's mixed classification 100 metres breaststroke. Our 8 swimmers here, Harry Stewart, Cameron Viencombe, Ryan Potter, Jack Milne, Jude Gunner, Hayden Hudson, Kai Bradford and Bruce D. And you can see from the pattern that the fastest swimmers are on the far side. And you can also see from that Kai Bradford of Killer Whales, 2 swimmers from the bottom, is really outperforming at the moment where you'd expect him to be, because he is not in that diagonal line that we'd expect to see across the pool. First to turn, Harry Stewart at the halfway point, 30.62. Then Cameron Viencombe, 33.1. And Jack Milne, 33.28. Kai Bradford, an SB8 swimmer, was 4th at the turn, and Bruce D, the SB6 swimmer in this heat, was 8th at the turn, but in the SB6 category. Well, Harry Stewart, you can be sure, will be the fastest of our 6 SB14 swimmers here. What a time this is. 65.18, that's a PB by over half a second. Cameron Viencombe, 110.84, and you see the points there. Over 800 we consider to be world class, really. So Harry Stewart, 892 points, brilliant. And now keep an eye here on Bruce D's points score, 824 for Bruce D in SB6 with a time of 1:22.73, and that's a PB for Bruce D. Fantastic, Bruce D. Fastest swim ever for both of those first 2 swimmers on that list, with scores of 892 and 824 points. Those are 2 fantastic performances. Cameron Viencombe just outside his PB. Kai Bradford. And Bruce D, by getting a PB there, has broken the British record in the SB6 category. So that's a new British record of 1:22.73 in the SB6 category. And as we say, 800 points and above is considered world class. So, brilliant stuff there. We have women's mixed classification 50 metres breaststroke now. And the situation is that we only have one swimmer, Ellie Chalice, and the target is for her to beat her entry time. Ellie represents Swim Conwy. And I think we can all appreciate that it's difficult to swim when it's just you and the clock. So everybody in Ponds Forge International Sports Centre is being encouraged to really get behind Ellie here to try and spur her on. She has a PB in this event of 64.33 seconds and a season's best of 69.54. So Ellie is already going to the World Championship. She's already been selected, although there is a full confirmation to come on Monday of all the swimmers who are selected for the World Para Swimming Championships. And I hope you can hear in the background the huge support that everybody's giving Ellie here to swim on her own. Tough situation. So we want to get under 69.54 seconds really as a target for Ellie. It's not going to be quite as quick as that, but it's not going to be far out. 73.10 seconds, 113.1. 681 points for Ellie for that swim in the SB2 category. Information there of that time and the points scored. We'll have more from Ellie to come over the course of the week. Our final event in this session, this heat session, is men's 50 metres backstroke. There are 10 heats to come.
Next up, the men's 50 metres backstroke heats.
Heat 1, we have swimmers across the 15s and 16 years age groups. No 13s and 14s in the 50 metres events. Eight swimmers in this first heat then: Benjamin McDougall, Aaron Drake, James Kilpatrick, Blake Herdman, Iolo Thomas, Harvey Kershaw, Noah Cartledge and Dexter West. In lane 4, Iolo Thomas going well, but even better at the bottom of our picture there, Dexter West. He's out in front, a 16-year-old with a PB of 29.58. Are we going to see his time as quick as that? I think we are here for Dexter West. 29.5 a PB, 28.41. That's brilliant. Wow. 11/10 of a second faster than his previous best. Noah Cartledge there, 29.39. That's a PB by almost half a second. James Kilpatrick, 29.08. Also a PB by 3/10. Good swims there. Heat 2 next. Now 10 swimmers in this one. Logan Day, Zeb Stevenson, Jacob Bacon, Alfie Winpenny, Jack Smith, Daniel Payton, William Davis, Stan Sawyer, Maximus Major and Nebi Sengula. No swimmer in 4. Excuse me for that, but we have good performances here already from Jacob Bacon in lane 7 and perhaps even better from Stan Sawyer, 3 lanes from the bottom from York City Baths Club. It's those two coming into the wall first. And it's Stan Sawyer, 28.22. That's a PB. Jacob Bacon, 28.29, almost a second off his previous best. Seb Stevenson, 28.92. It's the first time he's been under 29 seconds in this event. In fourth place there, Alfie Wimpany, 28.97. Look at that, we've got 6 swimmers under 29 seconds. And William Davis didn't miss by much. On we go to heat 3. Swimmers here are Dominic Bartoletti, Alfie Owen, Damien Frachet-Krieger, Finn Arnold, Harry Langford, Angus Woods, Tane Phillips, Zach Sheriff, Edward Redshaw and Henry Foster. In lane 6, Finn Arnold going well. And Alfie Owen also swimming strongly here. Coming through very well though, Edward Redshaw at the bottom of our picture. Who's going to get the touch here? It's Finn Arnold, 27.73, then Edward Redshaw, 27.87. None of the swimmers in this heat have been under 28 seconds before today, so 2 PBs there for Arnold and Redshaw. Zach Sheriff, 28.04. That's he had been under 28 seconds once before actually, Zach, so that's just outside his PB. But certainly PBs there for our first 2, and Harry Langford and Alfie Owen. And always bear in mind those age groups, because Damien Frachet-Krieger should be in the final there for the 15-year-olds with that time. On to heat 4. Our swimmers in this heat: Elliot Hughes, Ryan Close, Oscar Winterburn, Oliver Baskerville, Jonathan Ireland, Joe Helps, Martin Molnar, Joshua Parker, Carlos Sierra Vilgas and Lev Fahy. Ryan Close off to a great start, 2 lanes from the top, but also Joshua Parker 3 lanes from the bottom going well. And coming through as well, just above Joshua Parker, Martin Molnar. I think those 3 will be vying for the touch, but it's going to be Ryan Close at the top surely to touch first. 27.35. 3/4 of a second PB for Ryan. Joshua Parker, 27.48. That's a new PB. Third there, Martin Molnar, 27.54. That's a half-second PB. Oliver Baskerville, 27.71. That's also a PB by 3/10. There are PBs all the way through there. Great swims, everyone. On to heat 5. The swimmers here: Archie Tebbett, Magnus Morris, Benji Jeffries, Harley Taylor, Joe Jennings, Jacob Ray, Finian Malcolm, Jacob Kelly, Finley Bruce and Thomas Dean. Not much to choose between the swimmers in the middle of the pool. And it looks like Joe Jennings may just have a slight advantage at this point, and at the bottom Thomas Dean as well, a 16-year-old swimmer. As they come into the finish, it's going to be lane 5. I think Joe Jennings, 27.16, just ahead of Benji Jeffries, 27.52. Joe Jennings with a PB by 0.6 of a second in that one. Benji Jeffries, 27.52. That's a 0.3 of a second PB. 7 swimmers there under 28 seconds, and you can see every 100th counts at this point. Archie Tebbett should be in the 15 years final with that, 27.59. That's a 0.4 of a second PB. On to heat 6, 5 heats still to come. Swimmers in this one: Ronnie Edwards, Harry Cook, Adam White, Joseph Box, Jacob Brown, Oliver Parry, Isaac Thompson, Edward Bell, Jensen Owen and Henry Taylor. The two in the middle have got off to a great start here. That's Oliver Parry in lane 4 and Jacob Brown in lane 5. Harry Cook going well, 2 lanes from the top. He's in the 15 years age group. Into the last 5 metres then. It looks like it's between the two in the middle, Parry and Brown. Who's going to get the touch? No, it's going to be Harry Cook. Wow, 27.14, and that's exactly equal to his PB. It's the second time he's swum that time, 27.14. Definitely that sees him into the final for 15-year-olds, so we'll see him later. And he'll have another chance to try and get under 27.14 later on. 27.3 for Oliver Parry. That's a PB by 6/100ths, I make it. Jacob Brown swimming well there as well. On to heat number 7. And the swimmers here are Samuel Hall, Jake France, Ethan Collins, Toby Nakamura-Drew, Finley Pope, Jensen Norris, Sam Adams, Harry Sharp, Jack Doherty-Simpson and Benedict McCarthy. Toby Nakamura-Drew in lane 6 going well. In fact, all 4 in the middle of the pool going well. And Finley Pope, I think, starting to emerge. Jack Doherty-Simpson also coming through. But it's Finley Pope first in 26.65, a half-second PB for Finley. Toby Nakamura-Drew also with a PB. It's the first time he's swum under 27 seconds in this event. Sam Adams, 27.12. Jack Doherty-Simpson, 27.17 with a PB. On to heat 8, the last 3 heats. And really everybody now has got to get under 27 seconds to be thinking that they'll get into their finals. 9 swimmers here: Jeremiah Carnegie, Martin Yankoff, Oliver Davis-Tutil, Aidan Simons-Brown, Gabriel Knight, Jamie Ferguson, George Whittle, Zeno Ubatali and Joshua Shepherd and Christian Gale as well in lane 0. Lane 4 here, Jamie Ferguson going really well. You've got to get under 27 seconds to think you're definitely in the final. So Jamie Ferguson does that with 25.49. Second there, George Whittle, 26.3. And third there was Oliver Davis-Tutil, 26.43. That's a PB for Oliver. I think if you get under 27 seconds, you can be confident you're in your respective finals. And if it's between 27.00 and 27.5, then it's wait and see. I'm sorry we don't have a chance to get through the full list of finals qualifiers. You have to pick those details up from the website. If you're not aware, I'll remind you the fastest 10 swimmers in each age group qualify for the finals, and we have the finals in the evenings. So join us later to watch the fastest 10 swimmers in each age group come back to compete for their medals, and of course the fastest swimmers in the mixed classification events as well. So we have 2 heats to come. We had a slight delay on confirming the result there from the officials, but that is now the confirmed result. Jamie Ferguson, 25.49. Oliver Davis Tutu in the 17 years there, and also at the bottom there, Jeremiah Carnegie in the 16s. We'll have to wait and see if that's good enough for a place in the 16s final. It probably will be. Heat 9 now, 2 heats to come. Our swimmers here: Laurel Roberts-Burrell, Jamie Gray, Shakil Jordani, Jack Knight, Samuel Greenbank, Matthew Ward, Zachariah Dale, Finn Brookhoven, Aidan Orpin and Logan van der Meulen. Matthew Ward looking great in lane 4. He's got to win this heat comfortably. Finn Brookhoven's going very well, 3 lanes from the bottom. Let's look at the time here. Matthew Ward, 25.01. That's a PB. And that will put him comfortably in the final for the 19s and overs. Second there was Samuel Greenbank in 26.11. Third, Finn Brookhoven, 26.14. I think we're looking at finals places there for Zachariah Dale in the 18s and Logan van der Meulen in the 18s and also in the 17s there. I think we got Aidan Orpin through. Here's the final heat then, Heat 10. Well, our starter just telling the swimmers to stand down. Scary in lane 4, coming away from the wall. It looks like we're all set to start now. Our swimmers here then: Samuel Sutcliffe, Jack Burston, William Ellis, Zach Speakman, Rio Dowdu, Jack Skerry, Reese Blackett, Harry Turner, Daniel Ransom and Ethan Soppert Moss. And we've got 4 swimmers peeling away, I think, in the middle there. Jack Skerry, Rio Dowdu, both looking strong. Keep an eye at the bottom on Daniel Ransom for City of Leeds. He's coming in well here first as well. Jack Skerry, 25.67. Rio Dowdu, 25.74. Zach Speakman, 25.92. The sub 26 seconders there will be in finals. And we'd expect everybody under 27 seconds in that heat to be in their respective finals. Samuel Sutcliffe and Ethan Soppert Moss should also make the 16th finals with those times, 27.27 and 27.43 for those 2 swimmers. They have been faster, but I think that will be good enough to get them both through to the finals this evening. Well, that is the end of our heats. So check out on the website, search for Aquatics GB and look for results. You will be able to get a list there of the swimmers who have qualified, the 10 fastest swimmers in each age group to qualify for the finals, and we will see those swimmers again tonight. You will also be able to get the start list and see which lanes your swimmers will be swimming in, competing in, when we come back for that final session this evening. But it's been a really good session of heats today, and I hope you'll be able to come back and join us for more of these sessions over the coming week. We've got heats and finals now all the way through until Friday. So lots of exciting action to come, lots of brilliant swims. We've already seen some great swims this morning, but the swimmers, well, they lifted to new heights when it comes to finals. So even if you've seen a swimmer swim really well this morning, we might see something even more impressive when the adrenaline is pumping and we get the lights flashing and the announcement of the swimmers, that little bit of adrenaline just helps to increase the performance. So we've seen some impressive swims already today, but there could be even more exciting swims still to come this evening. So join us later for our next session. Session 4 will be our first final session here at the Next Gen Aquatics GB Championships for 2025. I do hope you can come and join us then.